Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. I just want to let you know that I'm really grateful that you are here today to hear this message, and I want to say thank you for everyone who left kind words on the last video. It meant a lot to me. We go through a lot here as light workers, and some of us feel like, we're alone in the process, and I have um, a way for other people to express that they're grateful for what I do and they're going through common things, and having you guys available to me has been just the greatest resource that I can ask for, so thank you very much. I went into the Akashic records and I got some information. And whenever I do that directly, I think I've talked about this before. My goal in becoming an Akashic records practitioner was never to simply open the records when I wanted to. My goal from the beginning was to meld with the records so that I had a system that would give me feedback from a higher perspective, on my reality and what's going on. Whenever I sit down in the moment to open the records, I'm doing that for a person. I'm doing that because, I'm not feeling well. I'm doing that for you guys to get information, with the intention of getting us to the next level or getting us to a certain point in our journey where we can overcome the challenges that we've presented with, and there are many of those. So, one thing that I know about old souls is that they are purpose driven, and a lot of times during your awakening process, that purpose that is driving you feels much bigger than you, and it's not at all, and I want to explain why. And I kind of want to use myself as an example. So I started this YouTube channel. My entire awakening, I knew I would be doing what I'm doing now. I knew I was going to be a teacher. I knew I was going to be on YouTube as a platform, giving information for whoever needed the message. And, to me, the old version of me, that was a really radical, way out there idea. So my guides during my awakening were pitching higher level processes and concepts to me, and it was on my job on my end to find the worthiness in me to be able to do those things. I was ready to start making YouTube videos years before I officially started doing it. I got to the point where my guides noticed that I wasn't really doing as much as I could, and it was time. And then, what did they do? They planted a seed within me that eventually drove me into it. And that led to me being an Akashic Records practitioner and working with people one on one, and doing all the things that I love to do today. But in the years prior to doing this, it certainly did feel bigger than me, and I know you're probably in the same situation. You are constantly on the grind, studying, trying to find some experience or some awareness or knowledge that you don't feel like you've acquired yet. If you, in your gut, have something that you feel you should be doing, but you feel guilty, and you feel guilty about not doing it, then it is the time to do that thing, regardless of feeling like you're ready or not. If you, as a light worker, have these ideas and aspirations and you're totally cool with it playing out, in whatever way is appropriate, then you know that it's not quite time to do those things yet. If you're in a situation where you feel like you have a purpose and you know what that purpose is and you're not fulfilling that purpose and you feel bad about it, you need to stop negotiating with the mind and the ego who are talking you out of it. You have to understand that the mind and the ego are designed and have the objective of keeping you asleep and locked into the illusion. They're only going to talk you out of whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. When I made my first YouTube video, I was absolutely scared to death. But I had, on the other side of things, guides prompting me, telling me I was ready. I had everything in place to get it started. But I was not able to do it until I stopped negotiating with the mind and the ego, because they would win every time. What I started doing, and this is what Emily Harrison instilled in me, is that I should dictate the feed of information that the subconscious mind and the ego are feeding me. As soon as I did that, I gave myself a window of opportunity to try things, and I put on made a YouTube video, put it out there, and people responded with, "Wow, that was what I needed to hear. I was grateful that you posted that. Thank you for doing that." And it clicks in you, wow, maybe I can do this. Maybe all of those reservations I had about myself were actually false. Maybe the ego was telling me not to do this because it knew that that was the best chance it had at keeping me asleep. And sure enough, a few months later, the Akashic Records opened for me, and once again, that is history. But here's kind of the old soul conundrum. We are driven by what's in front of us today and what we're experiencing in the now moment, but we're also driven by the experience and the things that we've acquired in the past. So there are things that we're being driven toward which we don't feel experienced in, that we're actually in reality very experienced in and have even mastered. This is where the hesitation really gets you, and this is why your guides are willing to make you upset and uncomfortable for however long it takes in order to convince you to do that thing. So what happens when an old soul starts something new, something that they feel driven toward and purposeful in pursuing? You should understand that your soul has acquired certain kinds of experience and has carved its path specifically to capitalize on the most potential and opportunity here during the shift. So you've strategically incarnated lifetime after lifetime after lifetime with the objective of making the most of the opportunity that you have in your now moment here today. So what does that mean for you? It means that that thing that you're trying to study and convince yourself that you're worthy enough and experienced enough to do has to be done first before the remembrance that you're looking for to give you the confidence to do it comes. So let me explain that again. Remembrance from your Akash is going to come forward when you put yourself in a position to do what it is that you're meant to do here. If you're feeling uncomfortable and like you're missing out, that is your guides telling you, politely encouraging you, letting you know that it is time. If your response to that is, I need to study more, I need to do other things, I need to take this course from this person, I need to listen to this channeling from this person, you're always going to be spinning your wheels. That piece that's missing is Akashic experience, which can only come forward when triggered by taking the action. So you might be sitting here in front of me, I feel like I'm a channeler, I have been feeling like that for a long time now, I just don't quite know how to do it, so I'm not going to put myself in that position. Not knowing that you've been a channeler in a dozen lifetimes before and have done it at a high level, and all you really need to do is put yourself in the situation that's going to trigger the remembrance. I didn't have my remembrance of how to do an Akashic Records reading literally until the moment Zoom came on and I was in front of my first client. And I want to tell you, I felt as in my comfort zone as I have ever felt. All of that time, my guides were telling me, you're ready, you're ready, you're ready, you're ready. And my response to them was, no, I'm not, was wasted energy. Because as soon as I opened the Akashic Records for that person, my remembrance was triggered. Oh, I've done this before. I've done it a lot. Oh yeah, I've mastered it. Each and every one of you who's listening to this message is an old soul who's left for themselves a time capsule of experience, perspective, information, whatever it is, that will open during the shift if you trigger it into being. In other words, the curtain's not going to open itself. You have to open the curtain. So what is it that you want to be? And I hear a lot, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing here? And you should know that you are not pursuing a singular purpose. What you are pursuing as a soul is potential, and you're pursuing the highest potential. The highest potential can change from day to day. So it might not even be decided what's the highest path for you to take yet. That's why it's important to acknowledge the notifications coming from your guides and how they feel and how they are prompting you to respond to what the reality is that you're experiencing. And it is true. Everything will happen when it's meant to. Everything will come to you when you're ready. But I want to tell you, during that process, the biggest factor in determining your readiness is you. Whenever you decide that you're worthy enough for anything, whenever you wake up and remember your benevolence, whenever you become comfortable stepping out of your comfort zone into the unknown, that's where all the magic happens. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, you guys. I will see you very soon. Thank you.